But I kind of look at them as the precipice to, part of the story that gets you to where you're supposed to be.
Right.
So I think the thing that stands out for me is that right after 9/11, I was jobless, I was homeless, I was sleeping on the floor, going from pillar to post, really. My cousin invited me to a party. I had no income coming in. Didn't have, back then everybody wants to buy something fly to wear. I didn't have any money to buy anything to wear. So I had these two T-shirts, and it just kind of really, like, this thought just came into my head, like, I'm gonna draw out on this one T-shirt. I made this T-shirt. So I did that. I drew it out, I cut it out, and I sewed it onto the other T-shirt, and I wore it to the party. And so it had this 2D effect. And so people are like, hey, I like that T-shirt. Where do you get that T-shirt from? And I'm like, I made it. So people were like, you make T-shirts? And I was like,
yep.
Yeah. Because people were like, I'll pay you if you can, make me a T-shirt. And I was like, pay me. Yeah. But I also had this idea that I was going to make T-shirts from scratch. I wasn't going to go to a wholesaler. I didn't even know what a wholesaler was at the time. So the first T-shirt I made, the sleeve was here, and it was here. So it was kind of like 3/4 in a tank. And then I was
3/4 tank.
Yeah, 3/4 tank.
I love it.
So then I'm looking at this product. I'm like, I was so focused on making the money that I wasn't thinking about the quality. And then when I started looking at it, like, would I wear this? And the answer was no. Then, you start to ask yourself other questions, like, okay, well, let me go to this wholesaler and get me these T-shirts that are already cut, the way I need them to be cut, and cut out this fabric and, sew this fabric, sew these things together. And that's kind of how it started building. But I felt, prior to that, there was such a hopelessness that I think people go through, but they go through different periods. There are different periods of hopelessness. And I think when you believe that this is not the end game for you, this is not the be-all and the end-all of who you are, and that there are other things are going to happen, you're just in this place at this moment, I think you start to ask yourself questions and you start to figure out things that, allow you to move forward, instead of staying stuck in a place of despair and heartache and woe is me. You know what I mean? I think you figure it out.
Some people.
I think I think there are more people who have the answers than not. They just, a lot of people gravitate towards sympathy. A lot of people gravitate towards, people are lazy. People don't want to do. But there's always a way to figure things out. And I think when you've had enough of being down there, you will figure it out.
So you figured it out.
I didn't have a choice. I know I didn't want to keep sleeping on that project floor. I know I didn't want to sneak to get bread. I know I didn't want to. So I had to figure out, how am I going to get myself out of this